Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel once again. Thank you so much for joining me on these conversations that we have throughout the week where we chop it up on this channel. So I thank you once again for joining me. Today's topic is going to be about seeking validation. Mm. But first, the sponsor of this video, which is my brand new book, The Hush Language Mental Health Journal Youth Edition. This doozy right here. If you have a youth, a teen in your life who is going through some mental battles, going through life transitions as a teenager, dealing with things that they don't know how to cope with, this journal right here talks about it all. Anxiety, depression, confidence, peer pressure, bullying, a lot of those things it talks about, and it gives an artistic outlook on how to deal with your feelings. And so it is an arts-based interactive journal, and I'm telling you, it is a great opportunity for your youth to explore their feelings and explore what it is that they're going through in written form, in art form, whatever they want to do in there. Okay. Thank you guys so much for your support. Click on the link below in my description box and as a linked comment to my website. Use code YAY10, that's YAY10 for 10% off your purchase. Now, let's get into the topic of this video. Seeking for validation. Gotta clear my throat on this one. Because we've all done it, right? We've all been in a place in our lives where we were seeking for validation, right? And I think for a lot of us, it starts as children. Maybe there was something that happened in your childhood to whereas, you know, it formed these opinions to whereas you felt like you weren't validated in life. You felt like you didn't know who you were, or felt like you weren't supposed to be here, or felt like you weren't a part of the clan, the family, or it could be through friendships where you felt like you were always the one just being uh, canceled out or talked about, etc. Whatever it is, we've all experienced that. I don't care who you are. We've all experienced that point of being or of seeking for validation, seeking for validation. And I want to tell you that it is a crazy feeling to go through because we're all human beings and none of us comes into this world knowing who we are. We don't come into this world knowing what our life is going to be, how it's going to turn out, who we're going to end up with, who we're going to marry, if we're going to have kids or not, if we're going to remain single for the rest of our life. None of us, not one person in this world comes here knowing these things unless you're just supernatural. You know what I mean? And you, God didn't come back down here in flesh somewhere, Jesus, and nobody knows. You know, other than that, no other human being on this planet Earth knows these things, right? And so it's one of those things where we're all going through life, we're all developing, we're all evolving in life, and we're all seeking for something. And in that seeking, part of it is validation. You want to feel like you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You want to feel like you are who you're supposed to be. You want to feel like you're where you're supposed to be at, right? And that validation comes from people in our lives saying, you know, maybe it's good job. We didn't get enough good jobs growing up. Good job. Good job, right? Or maybe it's from a spouse or a significant other, you know, cheering you on in your endeavors and supporting you. Maybe it's from your children. You know, you want to seek validation in them, knowing that they're doing good in life, and that's validation for you. Maybe it's that. Whatever it is, seeking for validation is kind of, you know, it can be a scary thing. So briefly, let me just give you a little backstory on my experience and history with seeking for validation. Now, I've talked about it in plenty of my other videos that growing up for me was very difficult and very challenging, and I experienced a lot of traumatic events in my life, a lot of traumatic events in my life that was just very detrimental to my health, right? To my growth as a being, as a young child, as an adult, right? And so growing up, I didn't get the pat on the back. I didn't get the hug and the comfort growing up. I didn't get the I love yous. I didn't get the support system from family, from siblings, from friends. Um, I didn't get any of that. Um, and then as I got a little older and as being a teenager, I started getting little bits of support from other people outside of the family, right? I started, when I joined the church, um, people will say things like, I love you, or um, how's it going? And, um, what do you want to do? And like just different things like that. They would ask me or talk to me, and I didn't know how to communicate that back to them. I didn't know how to receive love. I didn't know how to do any of that. And so as they were doing this, uh, it put something in me that felt like, dang, like I really don't know what this is. And so growing up and coming into my adult years, um, I realized that it was a matter of those experiences in my life that shaped who I am right now. And so as I seek for validation, sometimes you seek for validation in love. Well, because I didn't hear a lot of I love yous growing up. And so seeking for the validation in love um, can be an experience in itself. And that, trust me, that is another. Here's another video. This is it's topics within this topics that I can discuss in other videos. But yeah, so uh, those experiences really, really shaped me, and it made me feel like my life wasn't validated. Like I had purpose. I didn't know what my purpose was, and nobody was there to help me figure that out. And then, like I said, as a teenager, when people did come into my life, nurturing me in a sense, I didn't know how to receive it. And so that validation for me didn't come until later on in life, where I began to learn how to communicate. And now all of a sudden, I'm seeking this validation that I didn't know how to receive from other people growing up, right? And so I think that we all have these experiences of seeking for validation. We all have those experiences. And um, the greatest thing that we can do for ourselves in seeking for validation is to not look to anyone else for that, to really look into yourself and to figure out those things, figure out the self-love, figure out what it is that you want in life and your purpose and your desires or whatever. And then the people that are in your life, they are there to celebrate you along the way. And if they don't, then we should really be just pushing forward and celebrating ourselves. And I struggle with that. I do. I struggle with that because, yeah, another video for another day. But, you know, validation is so important for all of us because we are human beings living in this spiritual life. And to know that we are being validated and that we have purpose and that we have support really, really makes our journey worthwhile, and it makes it a little bit easier, especially mentally. It makes it easier for us. And so I encourage anyone out there who is seeking for validation to know that you are not alone in this journey, and that first look within yourself, look towards God. And not necessarily in that order, because I don't need y'all to come for me saying, no, you need to look for God, look into God first. I, do it whatever way you feel necessary. And I'm not saying this in any particular order. So excuse me when I said first, seek into yourself. What I mean is, as you're going into yourself, you're seeking God if that's who you believe in. I'm a believer in Christ, so I'm going to absolutely go within myself to talk to God and to figure out what it is that I need to do. And so at the end of the day, you are not alone. Validation is important. Don't let nobody tell you any different. It is important in our journeys, in our lives, for us to get to the next level. It just depends on how you go about it. And so we're all learning here. We're all learning, and I'm so excited about that. But that is the topic of this video today. Hopefully it touched someone. I know it touched at least one person out there. Comment below and let me know what it is that you're doing in your life in seeking validation, or when you were seeking for validation, how did that turn out for you? What was the outcome? So thank you once again for stopping by and for joining me on these conversations where we chop it up on this channel. And your support on my book will be appreciated. The link will be down below. Again, use code YAY10. That's YAY10 for 10% off of your purchase. And I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.